How dare you write that killer's name and pray for him? We don't want you in our neighborhood. Go away. That's what we were met with at the first vigil I attended on Friday in Huntington Beach. I was one of a few co-organizers, and really all I did was bring poster board and markers. But I was the only black organizer. And I felt like I was met with hatred for my blackness, or how dare I want to hold a candlelight vigil for the people who've been killed by police officers, and to include the police officers who were killed in Dallas, and to even be inclusive of the killer himself. There was so much hatred, and I felt that my blackness was seen as a horrible threat. That was the first out of 4 vigils that I've attended this weekend. Fast forward to today in Santa Ana and Anaheim, where I saw engaged, frustrated, and enraged youth, some screaming FTP, some saying, hey, we need to make this change in our community, saying that we're tired of our lives not being valued, being told that our lives don't matter. I was able to stand beside them because I really recognized their frustrations, and I was able to humble myself with my own fears at the age of 35 years old, not being willing to look at what it means for me to not be seen as a whole person. I try to pretend that racism didn't exist. I try to pretend that the hurts weren't there, that they didn't bother me. I'd married a white man. Surely this was all over with. No. Regardless, I will always be black, and my blackness will be known. And when I went to Anaheim, I saw more engaged youth who were willing to be present, who were more aware of the structure of the pain that was happening. I had a young blonde lady ask me, well, how dare these people be able to say FTP? I asked her, how dare you judge them? Have you ever considered what it's like to be in their neighborhoods, to be continuously patrolled, continuously be told that you're not a valuable human being, that you're only seen as a threat or a commodity to fill a jail cell? Eventually, if somebody stood on your foot for a long enough period of time, you'd be angry and upset, and you'd pull your foot away and not trust that person again. That's where these youths are. How can we blame them? But I got to engage with her on that level to hopefully help her feel enlightened, to connect and engage with her community. The last vigil that I attended, which filled my heart with so many emotions of both joy and fear at the same time, was in Irvine. It was a prayer vigil. I arrived late because I was just leaving from Anaheim. When I got there, I arrived to mostly white people with maybe 4 black individuals and police officers holding candles, singing. My heart was overwhelmed because on Friday I was told, how dare you? How dare you be here? And in Irvine, I saw people getting together to say, we can do better. It was the first vigil that I went to where there were white people saying, we see this pain matters, your life matters. When I walked up, I was crying. I was trying to film, and I was too busy crying. I was just met with hugs and held. One woman just held me forever while I sobbed. I was sobbing because I wanted those youths who were so frustrated and so angry to be able to see this level of unity, to see that officers were engaging and talking to the community. Would officers be willing to engage and talk with these youths? Listen, not talk to them and at them or tell them what to do, but to listen and understand that frustration and hurt. I wanted so desperately for healing. I shook an officer's hand and talked with him. Officer Hamilton, I believe. And we talked about the frustrations that led the Dallas shooter to being at the level of where he was. It's a shame that he had to see that as a result, as a choice, as an option. After attending these 4 vigils, saw some interesting things. When I arrived at the one in Irvine, with my hair like this hat that I got from Anaheim, with my Black Lives Matter shirt, my sign saying no justice, no peace, KNOW. I saw some hypocrisy. There are people who are singing songs like We Shall Overcome and God Bless America who were wanting to say they were together for unity, but looked like they were terrified to see me arrive. Even though they didn't know that I'm the kind of person who wanted to hug and hold everybody, that my heart is that big. And so I kind of, at the same time, had a push-pull feeling of like, yeah, we want to embrace you, but we're kind of afraid of embracing you. It's a lot better than what Huntington Beach did, which was go the hell away. And looking at all this, I realized what I'm seeing for myself, what I want to be, or what I want my part to be in what is happening. And that is to be able to be a bridge between these communities, a bridge between the angered youths, to value them and tell them that their lives matter, to help them to remember their worth and to connect. I'd want to be the bridge for those communities of like people in Irvine who are uncertain on how to engage with a black person, to see someone with natural hair that says Black Lives Matter, who's totally black and okay with her blackness, to realize that she's not a threat and that we can connect, we can engage. For our police officers to understand that there's someone else who recognizes what PTSD does to an individual, and instead help them to engage with their communities. I see that as my goal. I see this as something we can do together.